Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Daily High with your hosts, Matt McGregor and the Tone Vase. Good morning, Tone. How are you, mate?
Morning. Well, I'd be better if silver was doing what I needed to do, but other than that, everything's good here in El Salvador.
It looks like the chat's already on you for that one, so we'll have to cross that bridge as we
Are they?
cross.
I haven't seen the chat yet.
A few questions being raised. All right, I'm going to go first and get my little spiel out of the way. There's not much for me to say, although I was pretty bang on the money in last night's show. I mean, I was bearish, but I said there's a great trade on, and you go back. I've actually snipped it, so I might even make it a short because I drew on the 4-hour time frame, which we're on right now. I drew this little descending line. I don't know what they're called. A descending line, right? That sounds good to me. Saying, that we were putting in these, lower highs. And I said, there's a good trade on here. But in last night's show, I said, look, I can definitely see us coming back down to retest on those simple moving averages. I haven't adjusted this descending line at all. I mean, it got a little below it, but and I said if we get way below it, and it's a bad trade. But I said there's definitely a trade on, and I said 103.666. All right, and so far so good, and that's what I saw happening. When I said 106.666, it was there. I imagined it to be there, coming back down to retest. It went a little bit lower than I thought. I thought we might have recovered a little bit quicker than we have had, but I just saw that pattern coming in, which I see is a really good pattern to put in. To be just to be clear, you've got this descending line in, you're putting in these lower highs, you break it, come back down to retest with the cluster of the moving averages and have a recovery. So far, so good. I think that if we can get back above 106,500, sorry, pop it on my screen. Give me 6,
Yeah, no, we. Oh, I think we lost Matt. All right. So we got his chart up. Matt's gone. Hold on.
Guys, I'm here. My computer did a reset, and then so all this stuff's popping up. You know the drill. It happens like once every few weeks that I get this crazy thing happen. Did you catch what I said? Did you catch what I said?
Not really.
Am I here?
Yeah, you're good.
Charts are good. So did you catch all what I said? Lower highs, descending trend line, the break of the descending trend line.
Yes, we caught that. Yeah.
So the 4-hour time frame, I'm liking for now. If we get back below these 102, 102, I'm not happy at all. I'm bearish as all bearish. But for now, I think there's a really good little channel right between the 106 and 102, which I'm very, I'm satisfied with. Let's see how it plays out. The daily all is, just the same. The throwback down to the 7 simple moving average. Well, I didn't like that we came back up and retouched on the 30, just even below the 30. We didn't even make the 30, got rejected hard. But I think a second attempt, we can make it. But I also believe exactly what I said on the 4-hour that we get back down. If this candle goes red, I'm not bullish at all. But it's there. It's holding in. I'm impressed by the fact that it's holding in there, and I'll keep that. It's the same thing on the weekly. I'm impressed that we've come back down and retouched on the 50 simple and bounced off it once again. As long as we sustain this 50 simple, we've got a really, really good chance. And I said it in last night's show. If the more time that we spend in this zone, below 105 or whatever price, but we maintain this crucial 100K and this crucial 50 simple moving average for a close, these oscillators are just building up steam. These things are building up. I said it in last night's show, and I went back and rewatched it. I like the analogy I used. It's like a turbocharger on a V6, like a Japanese sports car. Let these things go lower and lower on these oscillators, but the price not dip that much. Let all of these oscillators crash, but the price not drop that much. We sustain the 50. You know what will happen if we can actually... You've lost me, haven't you? You've lost me. Have we lost? Is all lost? Fuck me. What is happening? Am I still here? Where am I? Tone, you're muted. You're muted now. Jesus.
Yeah, I was muted because there was people talking in the house. But no, you're fine, man. There's no problems. Just
You
keep
should
going.
see what I'm dealing with trying to chart live on air with thousands of things popping up on my screen. But anyway, look, my point is all these oscillators, I love this turbo analogy. Let them go drop. Because if the price is able to recover, and get like to 1010 and get above this 1012 mark, with all these oscillators in the position that they're in, negative and pointing down, they'll all round off. And we have an absolute turbocharger to the upside once we get above all these moving averages and start to kick on again. That being said, none of them, not one of these oscillators that I have here, from the Copic curve, the RSI, the MACD, all of them, none of them are fully locked and loaded bearish. Like they're not, they haven't tapped out. They're showing plenty of room. So I'm hesitant to say that there's a bottom in, because none of these oscillators are indicating a bottom's in. The MRI is not indicating a bottom in. The alphanumerics is not saying there's a bottom in. Nothing is. I'm just making the point that if we can recover, these things will all go full, up. But there's more downside to be had possibly as well. Coming back to you in the studio while I'm still able to do it, Tone, hey, guys, jump into the Discord, like and subscribe, share it with your friends. It's a great community in there. We've got thousands of like-minded individuals like yourself from all over the world who love trading, love sharing charts, love sharing memes. It's all free. The bots are free. Everything's free. You'd be remiss for not joining. Tone, am I way off base here, mate, to be slightly optimistic?
No, you're fine. You're fine. How's my audio? Because I put on microphones.
Oh, it sounds good. Like you're in a tin can, but other than that, we can hear you loud and clear.
I mean, I guess I have to buy new microphones.
It's coming through your computer for sure.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't be coming.
No, now you're muted. I wouldn't worry. Just unmute it.
See, now it's coming from my computer right now.
That's better. It sounds like, when you were kids and you had the can on the string and it's going to the speaker. But you're fine. Everyone can hear you.
And audio input. This is a $300 microphone, so it's worse than my computer.
Much worse.
So much for $300 microphone setup.
Inaudible. I think we have bottomed here. Here's a good. I think we have bottomed. That's what the crowd's saying.
Yeah. So I don't have a.
Tone, that's totally fine.
Which makes it very hard to stream from places. Like I don't understand how you buy $300 microphones and they're fucking crap.
Let's go.
All right. I'm actually keeping an eye on silver, which continues to rise. And this is 6 days of upside, which silver hasn't actually done since October. You have to go all the way back to October to find 6 green candles in a row. I still believe that silver is topping because it's in an exponential rise. So whenever I see any asset in an exponential rise, other than currencies, because currencies, they're artificial. But whenever I see an actual asset exponentially rise, that's one of those times where I look to short that asset. So I'm still shorting silver, and I still think it's going to top any day. Based on, it does have this monthly. We discussed it yesterday in more detail. Silver does have, another 6 weeks of upside technically with the monthly MRI top. Gold is a bit behind. So gold still has another month of upside, so it's possible for silver to top in December. But silver also topped on a weekly scale right at the top. So that's why I was not expecting silver to break this all-time high. And this is the all-time high for like the next year or two, because silver went into an exponential rise, something it hasn't done since 2011. And prior to that, it was 1980. This is the geological and theoretical and mining top for Bitcoin in this area. So let's see. I'm still expecting it to pull back later today, but otherwise, I have a little bit more room to hold the short, but I don't think I'm going to hold it past like 53, 53.50 maybe. So I am running close to where I would want that stop loss to be hit. I'm just kind of watching it. I don't have a stop loss set. I'm kind of being a little flexible here.
We said this in yesterday's show, and you and I talked about it before this show, in fact, that I think you'll be right ultimately. Do you know what I mean? And this is the funny thing about trading. It's like you can be wrong, right. It's timing and is just such a bugger of a thing. Do you know? Like I still think you're right, but there's a point where you gotta, wipe your hands of this thing, wash your hands of this thing.
Bitcoin, honestly, I don't have anything to say on Bitcoin. There's no way you can assume that we bottomed, right?
Right.
We just went up a few $1,000s. The weekly chart, the daily chart is still below every area of resistance, and there is 6 of them. Like at the very least, I need 110,000 before I even start considering that Bitcoin is out of the bear market. What we're gonna have to do soon, probably once I'm done with this trip, is start analyzing Bitcoin in terms of the soft fork that is going to be coming. And I think it's going to be messing with the price a bit. So we will need to be analyzing the price of Bitcoin in terms of what is happening with the fork. As for this, I'm going to delete this arrow. It's not necessary. I'm going to delete this arrow. It's not necessary. I'm going to clean up this chart a little bit. This arrow is gone. These arrows are gone because otherwise they'll be there forever. Okay, I think that's it. Oh, this old box is gone, and this is probably gone. Like I don't need these old annotations. I don't have much to say other than we're still in this downtrend, and until it breaks this downtrend, there's really not much to say on Bitcoin. We can look at it on an hourly chart. From an hourly chart, it would be nice if we can break the samurai resistance line.
Do you see no merit in my assessment on yesterday's show with that 4-hour descending channel and then the throwback to it and then the recovery from it? I think that's pretty positive stuff on a short-term time frame. Maybe you don't see it.
On a short-term time frame, maybe, but let me look at the 4-hour chart. I mean, I like that we're putting in an upward trend line, and now we have to break this. We're back into this little channel, and we really got to get over the top of it. That would help.
Well, doing that line that I did on the 4-hour, you'll see what I'm talking about if you don't recall. Like from the top all the way down.
No, I gotcha. Like over here?
Like this? Yeah, see that? Yeah, I kind of like. Is that the 4-hour?
Well, it's the 1 hour, but it's the same thing.
It's the same thing, yeah. Yeah, I kind of don't mind that. Do you know? Like that's kind of textbooky. Breakout, retest, recovery.
Yeah, that's a nice little bounce right here.
Yeah, it looks really good. That's why I said in yesterday's show. I think there's something there, and if we can get above that, the top of your channel there on the top of the thing, I think that we're looking quite good for intermediate, weekly. Who knows?
Yeah, no, very possible. But I don't really have much to say. There is not 10 a.m. reversal could help a lot. We can look at the stock market. I think the government shutdown in the U.S. is ending, you can see that the stock market is about to break the new all-time highs. We're like 0.5% away from a new all-time high, which is awesome. Here we are. The stock market is down 0.5% from the all-time high. Or maybe this way. 0.8% from the all-time high close, it's 0.5%. From the all-time high swing, it's almost 1%. So I think the stock market is going to hit new highs next week. And if the stock market is hitting new highs, I still expect Bitcoin to follow. If Bitcoin is not following the stock market when the stock market is breaking into all-time highs, then there is a serious problem with this soft fork situation. That's the only thing that would hold Bitcoin back. And I'll be doing another episode on that later today from a Bitcoin historical event with Jimmy Song and probably Giacomo Zucco once I meet up with them later today. So that could be an issue. And we're going to be discussing that issue probably starting next week in terms of what kind of damage this debate in the Bitcoin space over the protocol is doing to the price of Bitcoin. Other than that, keep an eye on silver. Look, the daily chart does have it going higher for like 4 or 5 more days. But yeah, like we said yesterday, I mean, this thing has a 6-week window to top, and it technically could top at a higher price. And if it does top at a higher price, it would be interesting because the oscillators will not make it. So if it tops at a higher price, there will be massive divergence everywhere. It'll be like, this is the daily chart. If we get a new daily high and a new daily close, you will have divergence on CMF, RSI, and MACD, assuming it doesn't keep going higher to reset the indicators. So there'll be divergence everywhere. On a weekly scale, there may not be divergence on a weekly scale because the MACD hasn't even like crossed over yet. And the CMF will be divergent. You can see how the CMF crashed. Look at it over here. Look at how high the CMF is. And then look how much lower it was on a new swing high over here back in October. And then it went down and actually made somewhat a decent, pullback. And then ultimately it went a lot lower before the big rise. So I pay a lot of attention to the CMF. I know silver prices are coming down, probably into the 30s. The question is, will I hold in there long enough, or will I have to go back, get out, take the loss, and then hopefully it goes higher? Because the worst thing that can happen is I get out, take the loss, and then it starts to go down the moment you get out. You know those trades.
You can't think about that. That's the classic trap.
Right. Like I have no problem getting out and then watching it go to, let's say, 56, and then shorting it at 56 again. That'd be fine, because then it's going from 56 down to 38 or whatever. That'd be great. But I think it's going to reverse any day. But any day could be, early December, right? That's because of this it's not a daily top that we're working with, because we're working with a monthly top. A monthly top could take 3 months to top, just like a daily top could take 3 days to top. When you identify a daily top, you have a 3-day window. When you identify a monthly top, you have a 3-month window, and that's a big difference.
There's a really great question here. It's about Bitcoin. I'll throw up the thing. What do you consider a bear market if it closes below the weekly 50 MA? Now, I just don't. If that question was for me, I'm happy to answer it. I never think of things as black and white as just like bullish, bearish. Do you know what I mean? Like the red and green wave for me on Alpha Metrics is sort of my mindset of where we are right now. But historically, like closing below the 50 simple moving average, it doesn't have to go bear market, but it's not good. But I always just get really positive in that time because I've made some really, I've made all of my money getting bullish once we had broken that 50 simple moving average and the price had dropped. But it doesn't have to be a bear market. It can just be a flash crash. It could be whatever. You don't have to think of it as like a bear market is a bad thing. I would think of it as a real, if we're Bitcoin, I believe in Bitcoin. If we close below the 50, long story short, I'm on the hunt to make some money at some point. It's just I'm not buying every like daily, MRI green 4-hour candle or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like I get more conservative, but I'm looking for something good. What are your thoughts, Tone?
So let's look at the last two bear markets and when I declared that we're in a bear market. In the last bear market, and I made this very clear. Let me see if I can just put like a giant arrow or something. Is there like a big, here it is, arrow mark. In the last bull run, even up here, when we started to fall off the top, I made it very clear that I would declare a bear market here.
Right.
Because until we break the prior swing low, well, technically I did it here because I hate double bottoms. Once we came to this area, but it's the same price, right? It's just earlier time-wise. Once we came down and made this double bottom, that's when I am like, okay, this is probably a bear market. It's pretty much done. But theoretically, it's when this happened. So it wasn't the 50-period moving average.
And
now,
look, just follow through. What happened like a few weeks later? You can see that green diamond below the MRI support resistance zone there. That's what I'm looking for. If once you in your mind declare it's a bear market, right, then I go on the hunt for.
Right. Let me just that's a completely different question, right? The question is when do you declare a bear market, not when I also stated back here that I will not declare that the bear market is here until we break lower than this low. And I remember telling people, guys, the price of Bitcoin is 65,000. I will only declare the bear market when we break below 35,000. And I remember word for word, I said, it may not be useful to anyone on the planet when Tone Vase declares a bear market because I needed to fall another $30,000. I remember saying this very clearly back up here at 60. I said, for me, it is not a bear market until we break below 35, this consolidated area. Until we break below this consolidated area, it is not a bear market to me, right? Because the only person I care about whose ideas and trading is me. Like I don't care about other people's views on the market. Now, this is very different than the last bear market, because the last bear market, I declared the bear market over here, where no one took me seriously, right? People took me seriously down here, right?
Yeah.
When I said, you know what, guys, the bear market that I called up here at like 17,000, that the bear market is here and the top is in, and we're going to go all the way down. First, I said we're going down to at least 5,000, probably 3,000, and very possibly 1,500. That's what I said. People only took me seriously after we hit 3,000, right? So here, I was one of the first people to call the bear market, but no one cared. Back here, I made it very clear I will be one of the last people to call a bear market. And even after I called the bear market, we still fell like 40 or 50, more than 50%, right? Because we went all the way down to 15.
Remember that song that referenced like Tone Vase is calling a bear market?
Right.
That was the
peak up here somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. It was right there, and that was the peak of your powers, I reckon. That was when you,
Right. Now, if we go earlier, now I wasn't live streaming back then in early 2014. I didn't start my public profile. I started writing articles in Cointelegraph, and I think the first article I ever wrote was in like June, July of 2014. And we were like, let me zoom in. We were here, and I didn't start off on a very good foot in the Bitcoin community, because when I started writing, we literally were just bouncing over here, and everyone thought this was the bottom. And if you look at those old Cointelegraph articles, and I still have them all on my website. If you go to tonebase.com, this is my calendar. But if you go to, I think it's in products and services publications, every article, there it is, going back to July of 2014 that I've ever written. And you can go through this and you will see how much hate I was getting back then, because I was mostly bearish all throughout this whole mess. I was mostly bearish all through it. Now, when I started writing, we were bouncing. But right here, I became a big bear. Over here, I became a very big bear. And I was bearish all throughout this whole area. And here, I was actually neutral. When did I become a bull? Well, when I saw this triangle forming. When I saw this triangle forming, I knew there was no stopping Bitcoin. So when someone asks me, when will the bear market begin this time? Well, unfortunately, there is no exponential rise. So because there is no exponential rise, we would need to fall below 70,000. Same thing as in the last bull market. We would need to fall, below this consolidated area. Maybe a little bit higher. Like, I still think this 200-week moving average has a great opportunity to bounce the price, and hopefully it goes down slow and it meets it somewhere at 70. So
may I have
maybe I'll call a bear market sooner, but I'm not ready to call a bear market yet. Maybe I'll call a bear market if we go below 90. But right now, I don't see anything in TA that tells me when the bear market begins. And the 50-period moving average is not enough based on the market structure.
I love that. May I have a crack at answering the question? I'll do it real fast because I do have
to run, so hurry up.
I can do it like lightning, dude, because I have a full system for it, right? It's very, very simple. When the wave is red, I'm not interested in Bitcoin unless we get another thing like a green diamond on a lower time frame. This has helped me a lot of the time on alphanumerics, where it doesn't have to be perfect. It's not perfect by any means, but like when this wave turns red, I'm like, stop thinking bullish. When it's green, I'm thinking very bullish. And I could tell you how often this has saved me from months of consolidation, saved me from terrible, like this doesn't look like much, but like this is like, oh, that's what Tone's talking about here. That thing went bearish. Tone said it had to break below, what'd you say, 30-something thousand for it to be the bearish. I was bearish big time back there before I had even met Tone, because the wave turned red, and I was like, I'm out. Got a little bit bullish for a minute, but we fell below the things. Then it went bang, red again, instantly again. I'm looking for green diamonds. We got green diamonds. Now we're good. This thing is dynamite. This dynamite, it doesn't have to be a bull market, bear market. It just changes your perspective. Oh, I'm no longer bullish for a while. Okay, I'm bullish again. We're all in. Oh, no, not that bullish. Oh, we're all in. That's how I see it. Coming back to you in the studio. And on stocks, just change that modified list side to the monthly, and you'll see it too. It's wild. It's wild.
All right. Oh, hey, so someone asked in the live chat who runs the Financial Summit Telegram channel. I actually didn't know there was a Financial Summit Telegram channel. So I'm not sure what you mean. I don't know there is a channel that exists. There is a Financial Summit official Telegram handle, and I'm not sure who runs that anymore. So I don't know what channel you're describing, because I am trying to stay away from, I wouldn't have any free time in my life if I had to be in these things. So that's why I just provide my thoughts here on YouTube. So I need to know what channel you're describing, because I don't know of one.
But speaking of which, we have a lot of comments saying that they like the new logo. Thank you for that. We just
switched the logo. There was bit of a merger happening between Financial Summit and Black Box, and we'll keep you guys posted on that for more details.
Thanks, guys. Well, on that bombshell, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a lovely day.